Hey guys, YouTuber 100 here. Alright, now here I am continuing on with these Halloween reviewers of the year. And now here I am with a review for Casper. So, yeah, ever since this film was released in 1995, it has received just like a very mixed reception. Just, yeah, people are just like very split on this film. Like, some people like it and some people hate it. I mean, even on Rotten Tomatoes, like the film score from both audiences and critics, it's pretty much just split right down the middle. Like, on the tomato meter, it has a score of 51%, and the audience score is 49%. So, yeah. Now, so over the years, like, this film has just had just some very contrasting reviews from just everybody. Yeah. I remember I did like watch this film when I was a kid, and me personally, I was never really that big into this film. I mean, I didn't really hate it, but yeah, I really couldn't get into it, and I was kind of bored by it. Yeah, and yeah, and I hadn't actually watched this film for quite a while until I just like decided to watch it to make this review. And overall, seeing it again now, it I gotta say, oh, I just don't know. I mean, I really don't know about this film, whether or not I can like give it kind of like a say like it's all right if it's bad. I mean, I just really don't know. I mean, I can't really say that this film really is good because yeah, there's a lot of things about it that just really doesn't work. Like, I watched a Nostalgia Critic's review for this movie, and yeah, he's made like some pretty good points about this film. How just the film is really loaded with just a bunch of like pointless cameos, and just it's overloaded with like puns and all this other stuff. And yeah, he does have a point. I mean, yeah, the film really is just like loaded with a bunch of stuff like that. Yeah, even like all the plot points that this movie has, I mean, a lot of them just really don't go anywhere. Like how it's like talking about like Casper's like old life, like when he was alive and how he died, and yeah, all this like other stuff that like goes on in the film, like with all these like plot points. Yeah, it really doesn't go anywhere, and yeah, a lot of them are pretty pointless. So yeah, so there's a lot of things about the film that really doesn't work, but I mean at the same time, I mean it's not horrible. Like, I mean, it does do like some stuff. Like, I think the ghost effects are pretty good, and yeah, I mean, and the filmmakers did at least try to put some effort into it. Like, I think like the acting for the most part, like the acting in the film, I do think is solid, and yeah, the effects for like the ghosts and stuff, I think is done just fine, and yeah, it does have like a good musical score as well from James Horner. So yeah, so I mean, I can't really say that the film really doesn't have anything. Like, it does try to do some stuff, but yeah, a lot of it just really doesn't go anywhere. And yeah, it's just like a lot of things about it that doesn't work, but it's not horrible. So I would probably like say that the film, it is like a well, it really comes down to like the personal preference. Like if you can really like put up with all the plot points and stuff, and if you can like handle like all like the stuff that this film really does have, like it's overloaded with like puns and like all those plot points and the cameos and stuff. Like, if you can look past that, and if you can actually like put your focus on the story, then the film is like decent enough, I would think. But yeah, even then, like the film story, it is pretty weak. But yeah, I guess like they do like at least try to do it in the best way that they can. So yeah, I'm just really just like split down the middle for this film. Like, I just really don't know like whether or not to really recommend it. So yeah. So growing up, I mean, I did like Casper. Yeah, I remember like me and my brother did have like a stuffed Casper toy, and yeah, we did like watch like some of the Casper cartoons. Like, there was the Fox Kids Casper cartoon, which I watched, and yeah, and I did watch some of the movies. Like, I watched this, and yeah, it also did spawn like the two prequel films and stuff like that. So yeah, and it also did like spawn some like other like animated TV movies. So yeah, Casper. So Casper did like originally originate in 19 in like the 1930s, and yeah, and I'm sure pretty much all you know Casper. Casper's a friendly ghost, and yeah, Casper is not like the traditional ghost where like they're going around being spooky and just scaring people. Like Casper, like he doesn't. He's like a friendly ghost. Of course, he doesn't do all that. Like he really is like trying to like not get people to not be scared of him. But yeah, usually like people still are just afraid of Casper. But in usually like every Casper project, he does end up like befriending a human. So yeah, so that's pretty much like how Casper goes. Yeah. Well, yeah, and yeah, yeah. Casper's like had like comics and cartoons and movies and yeah, all this other stuff. So yeah, over the last like over 50 years, basically, Casper has really become like a cultural icon stuff. But yeah, as far as the films go, yeah, especially with this one being like Casper's only like theatrical release, he's yeah, I think that probably like Casper could use like another film in the future. I really don't know if that'll ever come to pass, but yeah, but yeah, as far as this one goes, I mean, yeah, it there is effort put into it, but yeah, there's just a lot of stuff about it that doesn't work. So yeah, I just really don't know what to say. I mean, if you're a Casper fan, maybe you'll get some enjoyment out of it, but yeah, if you're not really that into Casper, this probably isn't your film. So yeah, the film does have like a pretty decent cast. Like it does have like a number of stars in it. Like yeah, the film does star Christina Ricci as a cat who's like the the teenage girl that Casper does end up befriending in this film. And yeah, there also has like cast members like Bill Pullman, Kathy Moriarty, Eric Idle, and yeah, and it also like does feature like Malaki Pearson as the voice of Casper, and it also has uh, Joan Napode, Joe Alasky, and Brad Garrett as the voices of the Ghostly Trio. Yeah, and the film is like loaded with cameos as well. Like you have like cameos from Don Novello, Dan Aykroyd, Terry Murphy, Clint Eastwood, Rodney Dangerfield, Mel Gibson, and yeah, so yeah, it does have like a so like several celebrity cameos in the film as well. So yeah, yeah, and like I said, like the effects for the ghosts, I do think are like done pretty well for the time. Like if they did a Casper film today, I couldn't really see the effects really looking like really like that much better. Better, yeah, because yeah, I know that they are like just like last week. I did like see like the was it a Geico commercial or something with like Casper in it? Yeah, it was a Geico commercial with Casper, and yeah, the effect for Casper it looked pretty much exactly how it does in this film. So yeah, so I can't really see like if they did make like a Casper movie now, the effects for the ghost really looking that much better. Yeah, 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 and the film also does have, like I said, it does have a good musical score from James Horner, and plus, yeah, the rendition of the Casper theme song in this film, it is like pretty cool too. Like this film like has a version of like the Casper theme song done by Little Richard, which I do think is a pretty cool version of the song. Like I'll put the Little Richard version of the Casper theme song down in the description from this film if you want to listen to it for yourself. Yeah, it is a pretty cool version of the theme song. Yeah, yeah, so yeah, like I said, this film does have some stuff going for it, but yeah, there's just a lot of things about it that really just doesn't work. So yeah, so all I can really say is just yeah, check it out and decide for yourself. I mean, yeah, I can't guarantee you'll love it, and I can't guarantee you'll hate it. Just yeah, just you'll yeah, you'll just feel either way about it, and I really just don't know how you will feel because yeah, the I mean yeah, like I said, just ever since the film's release, it's had such a mixed reaction to it. So, yeah, all I can say is just check it out and decide for yourself. Yeah. So, yeah, so I would probably give the film, I don't know. I guess I would go like around the 2.25 stars out of 4 range. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, like I said, like I've never really been in this film. Yeah, it's just really not for me. But yeah, if you're a Casper fan, you'll probably get more enjoyment out of it. Yeah, out of it, and if you can like put up with all the stuff that this film does do. Yeah. All right. So that's my conclusion for it. All right. So yeah, let me just talk about the film in general. All right. So as the film opens up, it shows like there are these two boys that are trying to sneak into this mansion that's known as the Whipstaff Manor in Friendship, Maine, and they're trying to get a picture inside. And as they're arguing about who will take the picture, then yeah, it then shows like there's a spectral entity. Then just he that is just they hear that says we'll take the picture and takes the camera from them. And as the picture's taken, then the boys then just run off. Yeah, and then it just shows like the picture falling on the ground as if it's like starting to develop, and yeah, you just hear like a melody of the Casper theme song playing as just like the opening credits start up, and then yeah, then the photo then like fully develops, and it shows like the two boys screaming, and then yeah, then it just like the screen fills up with smoke, and then you just see Casper. Yeah, yeah, and then it cuts to like later on as it shows that there's like a woman named Kerrigan Crittenden, who was played by Kathy Moriarty, and yeah, it shows that like her father has died, but yeah, she's inherited like the Whipstaff Manor or from her father, and that's apparently the only thing that her father left to her. Yeah, because all of his his money has gone to just like several charities. But yeah, then Kerrigan and her attorney, Dibbs as she calls him, ended up like in finding a map in the will's papers, and it describes that there's like some sort of alleged treasure inside of the house. But yeah, then that night, as a the two of them then like sneak into the mansion to try to find the treasure. Then they find it's haunted by ghosts. It shows that like Casper ended up appearing, and then it also shows that the ghostly trio are there as well, which are of course like Casper's uncles, Stretch, Stinky, and Fatso. Yeah, yeah, and then it just showed like how uh the two of them are like trying to like force the ghosts out with some paranormal experts and demolition teams to no avail. And yeah, it even showed like there was a Dan Aykroyd like in his Ghostbusters outfit. He even like said to them at one point, "Who are you gonna call? Someone else?" Yeah, yeah. Then it just shows that Casper is like just very lonely in the mansion, and he just wants a friend. And then yeah, Casper then eventually ends up like watching a news report, and it shows that they also end up talking about the paranormal expert, Dr. James Harvey, and yeah, and it also showed his daughter Kathleen, who was also like known as Cat. Yeah, and then yeah, Casper then just ended up just falling for Cat, and then yeah, in order to get them over to the mansion, then yeah, Casper then like had the a story playing for Kerrigan, and then yeah, then that influenced her to summon Dr. Harvey to Whipstaff, and then yeah, Dr. Harvey and Kat then ended up moving into the manor, and yeah, and it does show that like Dr. Harvey really does have a an obsession with contacting the ghost of his late wife Amelia, but yeah, Kat is just like in a lot of denial about it, and she just doesn't like what her dad does. How they are just like always like moving all across the country. And Kat even brought up that just in 2 years she's been to like 9 different schools and hasn't really made any friends at any of them. Yeah, yeah. But then yeah, then once the Harveys then like moved into the Whipstaff and they met Kerrigan and Dibbs. Yeah, Kerrigan was just telling uh, Harvey to just find some ghosts. some stuff. And then that night, then they then like saw Casper in the mansion, and of course, like they were frightened of him at first, and then eventually, then they also saw the ghostly trio, and the ghostly trio ended up just like tormenting and scaring them away as well. And then eventually, like at one point, they ended up after the ghostly trio ended up scaring Dr. Harvey. The three of them ended up possessing him, and then it showed them like as he was looking into a mirror, he just was turning into several different celebrities. He like became Clint Eastwood at one point, and then he became Rodney Dangerfield, then he became Mel Gibson, and then just turned Crypt Keeper. But then he eventually was able to suck the ghostly trio into a vacuum. Yeah. But then the next morning, then Casper then like was just convinced the Harveys that he was not going to scare them and that he was friendly, and then he befriended the two of them, and he even made breakfast for them. But then like the two of them then just saw like how the ghostly trio does treat Casper. Yeah. And then that day as Kat was at school, like she was like became popular when she it was like found out that she is living in Whipstaff, and she even agreed to host the school's Halloween party. Yeah, but it showed that like there was a another girl at the school, Amber, that was like very envious of her, and even like her boyfriend Vic like seemed to like actually like Kat, but then eventually like Amber ended up putting Vic up to joining her to try to humiliate Kat at the Halloween party. Yeah, and then it also showed that like Dr. Harvey was also attempting like some therapy sessions for the ghostly trio. And then at one point the ghostly trio actually revealed that they knew Amelia, and they would actually like get Dr. Harvey into a meeting with Amelia in exchange to get Kerrigan to leave them alone. Yeah. Then later on, then it was like after like Kat was like talking to Casper some more. Kat was asking Casper how he actually what his life was like when he was alive. But it was like revealed that Casper really didn't have any sort of memory of his life when he was alive. Like Casper had no memory of his parents or what his life was like at all. And stuff. But then over time, then like as Kat was like trying to find some stuff to get Casper to remember, she eventually was able to jolt his memory after like she restored Casper's old playroom, and then Casper was recognizing some of his old belongings, and then he started to remember like his father and stuff, and Casper did remember that the way he died was he actually was playing outside, but he caught a severe cold and died of pneumonia. But he did become a ghost to keep his father company. Yeah, but then after finding some old newspaper articles, and like it was revealed that Casper's father, J.T. McFadden, was declared legally insane after he built a machine that was known as the Lazarus that he claimed could bring people from the dead. Yeah, and then Casper and Kat then like eventually like found his father's lab, and they found the Lazarus, and it also showed that there was a formula to get it to work, and it showed that like there was only about like one beaker of it left, and that could bring Casper back to life. But then Kerrigan and Dibs then were like sneaking inside of the mansion, and then they eventually did find they followed Casper and Kat into the lab as well, and they ended up stealing the formula. And they had a plan to like use it that to give them mortality and use it on them. Then they like had a plan to like try to kill each other and then test it on themselves. Else, else, but then as they tried to escape with it, Kerrigan ended up like falling off of a cliff to her death. But then like she ended up rising up as a ghost. And then it also showed how Dr. Harvey was like spending more time with the ghostly trio, and then they ended up like going to a bar. Or yeah, and the ghostly trio then like had a plan to try to kill a Dr. Harvey to make themselves a quartet, but uh, yeah, but then they ended up having a change of heart when Dr. Harvey, when he was drunk, declared he'll tell Kerrigan off so they can stay in their home. But then, yeah, and all the commotion, Dr. Harvey ended up falling to his death after falling into an open trench. Yeah, yeah, and then back with Casper as like the as they were going to try to like uh, find the formula. Then yeah, Kerrigan then appeared as a ghost, and then she ended up flying into the lab, and then she ended up like stealing the chest that contained Casper's treasure from a vault in the lab. And then when she was told Gibbs to like start the machine on her, Gibbs just ended up like refusing using, and then he just ended up trying to double cross her. But yeah, she ended up just like flinging Gibbs out of the lab through a window. Yeah, but then Casper and Kat then just like tricked her into saying that she has no unfinished business on Earth because she had the treasure and the formula and stuff. But yeah, that ended up like causing her to just cross over to the afterlife, and yeah, she tried to like talk out of it and take back the words, but yeah, it was too late, and then she ended up crossing into the afterlife and just forcing her to stay dead forever and never come back. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But then, yeah, after she explodes, well, it's like the capsule containing the treasure ended up down to the ground, but Kat was able to catch it before it did. But then, and it ended up falling to the floor, and then yeah, it was shown that the treasure was just some baseball memorabilia from Casper, which included a baseball mitt that was signed by Duke Snider from the Brooklyn Dodgers, who was Casper's favorite player. Yeah, and yeah, the so-called map was actually part of a game Casper played with his dad. Yeah, and and then with the formula now back in their possession, then yeah, as Casper and Kat were getting ready to use the Lazarus to bring Casper back to life, then yeah, Dr. Harvey ended up showing up as a ghost with the ghostly trio flying into the laboratory. Yeah, but yeah, it showed that with as a ghost, Dr. Harvey had no memory of Kat, but then yeah, Kat ended up jolting his memory with the pinky promise gesture they do with each other. Yeah, and then yeah, and of course, like he was filled with so much remorse and guilt that he left his daughter an orphan. But then yeah, then that ended up prompting Casper after seeing just the despair on Kat's face to then use the formula for the Lazarus on Dr. Harvey and bring him back to life, which he did. And then yeah, Dr. Harvey was brought back to life and they're reunited. But then yeah, as this was going on, then like everybody from Cat's school arrived for the party. Yeah, and then yeah, Amber and Vic were getting ready to pull a prank on Cat, but then it was thwarted by the ghostly trio, and then yeah, that ended up just scaring the two of them away. Yeah, and as the party was going on, then and yeah, as Casper was just like upstairs, then it was then shown that uh, Cat's mom Amelia then appeared as an angel and was telling Casper that he did the noble thing by letting Dr. Harvey come back to life, yeah. But because of what he did, she was going to grant Casper his wish for the night. So then, yeah, Casper was then like transformed back into his human form, and then, yeah, and yeah, Casper went downstairs. Of course, like Kat didn't know it was him. And then yeah, he started to dance with her, and then yeah, Casper then like just revealed that it was him, yeah. And then yeah, then Amelia then also met with Dr. Harvey and just told him that she was content with the family with him and Kat while she was alive, and she has no unfinished business, and she just encouraged Dr. Harvey to move on as well. Oh, and yeah, he told also like explained to him that the ghostly trio kept their promise to find her for him. Yeah, and then yeah, then when the clock struck 10, then Amelia ended up departing, but she promised Dr. Harvey that they and Kat will be together again one day. And then yeah, after Kat ended up like kissing Casper, then Casper was then turned back into a ghost. And that was funny. Like, they were surrounded by everybody else. And then after they saw Casper as a ghost, they all were just like frightened. Then yeah, Casper then just like very casually said "boo." And everybody just screamed and ran out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then yeah, Cat was impressed with the party, but Dr. Harvey said it wasn't over. And then yeah, then he had the ghostly trio play the Casper theme song for them to dance to. Yeah, and then it just showed Casper, Cat, and Dr. Harvey all dancing with each other. And then yeah, Casper then just like flew to the camera and winked, and then just like flew up, and then yeah, left a trail of steam or stuff to spell out the end. And then yeah, then that's how the film ended. So yeah, so like I said, I mean, it's not the worst. Like, there was effort put into this, but yeah, just yeah, with all the cameos and yeah, the plot points and just yeah, there were a lot of puns used in this film. Like, I no, I really didn't go over them, but yeah, if you watch the film, or you can even go to Nostalgia Critics Review and watch that, yeah, there's like a lot of different puns used in the film. So yeah, so that can get pretty annoying, and yeah, just yeah, and yeah, it is overloaded with all that stuff. But I mean, yeah, like I said, there is effort put into it. Like, the ghost effects are do look pretty good for the time, and yeah, the acting overall is like still solid. Oh, and then a good musical score, and yeah, so it does have some stuff going for it, but yeah, I just really don't feel that it really does have enough to really call this a good film. Like, yeah, it really is just like very hit and miss, and yeah, like I said, the audiences are just split right down the middle for it. So, yeah, so like I said, I really can't really guarantee that you will end up liking this film. Like, if you are a Casper fan, you can really like put up with like what the film does. You may get more enjoyment out of it than I did, but yeah, for people like me, just yeah, this just really isn't my film, and I don't really think it is something that I'm really going to be coming back to and watching all the time. But yeah, it really comes down to the like your own taste, whether you can handle what this film does or not. So yeah, like I said, check it out and decide for yourself. So yeah, so like I said, I give it like 2.25 stars out of 4. Yeah. And yeah, there was a sequel that was planned for the film, but it ended up being canceled due to like various reasons, like some differences with the cast, and just like some screenplay issues, I guess, and yeah, just some other controversy surrounding it. Yeah, but yeah, like I did say, like this film did end up like spawning. Well, yeah, it did end up like having like a two prequel films that were direct to video made as well. Yeah, and those were films I really did watch a lot as a kid, and yeah, and I would like to talk about those films. So yeah, up next I am going to be talking about those two prequel Casper movies with those. So yeah, so my reviews for those will be coming up next. I'll be making individual reviews for both of them, so those are going to be coming up next. All right, but yeah, but I guess this does it for my review of Casper. So I hope you guys did enjoy this review. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.